If you don't know what's happening, I'm currently kicking out my producer and videographer because I've decided that they can no longer be in the room. Why? We discussed last week and the week before that I despise their male energy, and it's time to take the power back as women. So they can fuck off. Are you still in the room? No, they're not. But welcome to this next episode of In Ayame We Trust. Should we get on with the pissing show? Now, let me be honest. Let me be really frank. Am I emotionally and mentally drained today? Yes. Yes, I am. Do I feel up and ready to speak to you today? No. Not in any way. Am I still going to? Of course. We've got shit to do. So let's get on with the pissing show. I think we should. Let's go. You are listening to In Ayame We Trust. This is my podcast. I'm Ayame, and I've just kicked out my producer because it's all me. He tried to have a mic last week. What the piss? Anyway, this podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and if you want to watch it visually, you can do so on my YouTube. That's it. They're talking. In Ayame We Trust on YouTube. Ayame.P is my name. Anyway, let's piss and go. Last week, I think I mentioned to... Wow, look at that tricep. Sorry. Last week, I think I mentioned to you... I know for a fact I mentioned to you that I went on a date. And you're probably thinking, Ayame, fill us in. Fill us in with what's going on. Are you still in love? No. Why? Because immediately click off. That's just how my brain works. That's just how it works, especially when it comes to the male species. They don't deserve much of my brain energy. So, as I say, last week I was in love. That was a mistake. I no longer am. I no longer am in love. So we're just going to try again this week. We'll see how it goes. I went to, actually, an event. I went to an event. Why? God, this drilling's going on for a long time. I'm trying to tell you a story and they're just drilling. And we'll get on to why specifically I'm on this blue couch, because as we know, my couch is white. It's a beautiful, pristine white. But we're today on this blue couch, which is different. Still velvet, but different. We'll discuss that later. Long story short, last week I went to an event with said loser that we were talking to last week. And at said event... Who happens to be there in addition? My ex. I was invited to this event by the person that I believed I was in love with last week. He said, hey, I want to come to this event. It's a cool event. And I said, yeah, sure. Because I was looking already sexy. And I thought, why waste this sexiness on just dinner? Let's continue this sexiness for other people to see. Let's bless them. So... decided to go to this event that I was invited to by the new person I thought I was in love with. As I get there, who happens to be standing in the doorway, also walking into the event? My ex-boyfriend. And it was at that moment, you know that meme of the woman that's just smiling and she's like, that's how I felt in the doorway. That's how I felt. So... I still decided to be a grown woman and walk in to this event because I thought, do you know what? It was bound to happen at some point. Might as well be the day that I look incredibly sexy. Luckily, because you know we all have those thoughts about if I ever see him again, I'm going to look really fucking sexy and just and then he's going to be like, regret. And it happened. It did happen for me. And it will happen for you, inshallah. Was at this event, my ex saw me, spoke to me, said hello. It was still very much amicable. It was just weird because then I was still in that event with the new person that I was speaking to at the time who was also trying to speak to me while my ex was next to me. Very much awkward, very much pain, very much happy to no longer be in that situation anymore, as in that setting. And then as a result of that night, I fell out of love. Anyway, but we won't get into that because that's deep into my personal life. And we don't need to discuss my personal life that deeply, okay? Sometimes we need to have a barrier. He was a loser. So yes, you're probably wondering as well why I'm sat on this couch. This couch, as I said, is enoughly blue. Oh my piss. I'm going to voice note my my producer at the minute. Right, I'm filming this podcast and the drillings outside are making me stop. I don't know if you can pick it up, but it's making it very difficult for me to have a cute, fun time with all of my friends that I'm speaking to right now. So I don't know what the hell. I knew I should have never invited you, is the point I'm making here. Because you're a stupid... Why are you... How come you can hear me? Are you in the room? Hussam! Hussam! You're probably wondering why I'm on this couch and I'm moving house. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I'm moving house. My house right now, I think that's probably why I'm depressed today. I'm someone that relies very heavily on their environment. I rely very heavily, like my emotional state relies so heavily on my environment being clean, being clear, being just... And therefore, where I am right now, which is my current flat, it's full of boxes. There's mess everywhere because it's a lost cause. I'm not cleaning the house. I'm not cleaning that house because really and truly I'm moving in the next few days. So I'll wash up dishes, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to clean the house like pristine because I'm going to be moving everything out and then getting a professional clean anyway. So why am I going to clean the house? So I'm living in disrepair, with boxes everywhere. I'm just living with a stressful mind. So that's currently why we're sat here. I've come... Get out of here! Is this you? Get out! Why? Did you hear the voice note I sent you? Yeah. Well, every second that they keep coming. You've ruined it already. This male energy has thrown me off. He's dry humping the air. It's Ramadan. Disgusting. God, sorry. A man just walked in and it really threw me off. That was disgusting. Although, actually, that's another point I should make. I feel as though over the past few weeks, I've been very heavy on the man hate. Let me clear something up. Do I despise them? Yes. It's not exaggerated when I say I do. It's not exaggerated at all. But I feel as though maybe I am entering into a realm of bullying. But bullying men is okay. Do you know what? Long story short, I'm gonna put the men hate on hold. But just know, because I'm speaking directly to you, my beautiful babies that are listening to me, that know me, that get me, because we all get each other here. Even though I'm toning down the man hate, we all know. Long story short, I'm moving house, and it's been a real struggle for me. So that's why I'm currently sat on this couch. That's the intro I've got for you for what's going on in my life. I was supposed to go to a photo shoot today, but I'm just mentally not here. I'm mentally not here. I've had to have a coffee because mentally, as I say, I'm not here. There's a drill going on outside as well, which is just sending me into orbit. I'm currently not doing well. Let's move on to the next segment where I discuss something that's been said in the news. This week, we don't have a man infiltrating the system to tell me about football, people dying on bridges, and what was the other one he mentioned? He was a waste of time. Okay, let me not be a bully. He gave some suggestions, they were rubbish. Let's get on to it. So this week, on social media, I feel like this week a lot of people have been talking about how London is the most miserable place on earth. Do I agree? Not really. But that's because I'm a very London gal. And also I've only ever lived in London. Well, no, I've lived in Toronto. Apparently, according to residents, Londoners are the loneliest people in the whole of the UK. Which is understandable. I feel like London is a very lonely city because it's so big. There's so much going on in London that it can become quite lonely. And also I feel like when people move to, like internationally, to move to the UK, they mainly move to London. And that already is a very lonely experience. Like I just said, when I moved to Toronto, it was lonely for me. Even though I had family there, I wasn't with my close friends. I wasn't with my mum. So it was very lonely in itself. So I feel like maybe that's why London's a lonely place. People living in Vauxhall and Camberwell Green are said to be the loneliest in the country, closely followed by people in Bermondsey and Old Southwark. Now, is there something to be said about the fact that these are all in South London? The same percentage of respondents are reported to being lonely in Hackney, not West London, Shoreditch, not West London, Islington South, not West London, Finsbury, not West London, and Lewisham, not West London. So I think the point is that we should all just migrate to West London. It's a better area, better people. I'm there. We can all have a great jolly time. Now, if you are living in London and you are feeling lonely, stop. No, I'm joking. I'm sure it's very difficult. As I say, I think we had an agony last week where someone was talking about they'd moved and it was lonely for them. You kind of really have to throw yourself out there, which is difficult because when you're in a state of loneliness, you're already feeling low as it is. So to then think about putting yourself out there when you're already feeling low, it's no bueno. But unfortunately, you have to rip off that Band-Aid and do it that one time to kind of stop the pattern. Otherwise, you're staying in that same pattern of being lonely and alone and not getting to know new people. Do you know what I mean? If you are depressed, though, you should go and see someone. Should I get a therapist? That's a section that I think I should speak about. That's another, do you know what? Let's lead on to that and we digress. Do you know what? Maybe I have ADHD. You can piss off because also maybe. What was I going to say? Someone was telling me the other day that I should get a therapist and I feel I don't need a therapist. And if anyone else agrees with me, do let me know in the comments. Because I feel like mentally I'm okay. And I don't want to take up a therapist's time from someone who is mentally really struggling. But then they say, okay. So I have a history of mental health in my family. History of mental health, which I find is a really weird statement because what do you mean history of? I have a history of breathing in my family. It's just like a normal, do you know what I mean? But my family, hello? There's no one here. My family, I'm going to say almost each and every member of my family has something mentally unstable about them. Diagnosed clinically, not just like they're crazy. Clinically, all of my family have mental issues. My mum has bipolar personality disorder. She also has ADHD. So mental illness, it's present. It's present and around. So I feel like because of that, I'm not someone that has been diagnosed with anything, and because of that, I feel like I'm very hyper aware of my mental state. Like if I ever feel myself getting low, I don't beat myself up. I know that it's like, it could be hormones, it could be this, it could be this. And when I get into feelings of like questioning my self-worth, again, I know that it's all in my head. I'm able to deduce certain things being in my head, if that makes sense. And therefore, I feel like I don't need therapy. But I've heard, apparently, the people that are hyper aware of their sense of self and hyper aware of mental health are the ones that need it incredibly, because there's something wrong with the fact that I'm able to mentally process. But at the same time, that makes no sense. Can someone explain what I'm trying to say? Because it's something like, because I'm able to deduce what I'm going through mentally, I'm not really speaking it out properly. I'm not really hashing it out with myself and therefore struggling. And I don't know if any of you guys feel the same, if you guys go through the same thing. But I feel like I'm just mentally perfect. And I don't need therapy, although I am actually traumatized by a few things. Sometimes I think about them. I do have a lot of trauma. But that's like manageable, you know? It's a manageable trauma. Anyway, how did we get onto my mental health? It's my mental health isn't struggling in the minute. So that's the thing. When I say my mental health is struggling, it's not. I feel quite grateful in the fact that when I have really low days, they can be really low, but they're far and few between, and I can talk myself out of them. I wonder how that must feel to not be able to. Anyway, well, what else can we talk about? There was also something else I saw that I thought was absolutely disgusting It was, you know, like those, and I'll see if I can get my producer, if he can do anything right, if he can put it on the screen, where it's like girls versus guys, how guys think versus how girls think. I wanted to read through it with you because I thought it was the most stupid thing on this planet. Guy's fact. When a guy is quiet, he's listening to you. When a girl is quiet, millions of things are running in her mind. Now, why do we think that men are stupid. But why do we feel like they're so, like, they've got the brain of an apple? Why do we do that? Because then that just defeats, I feel like it takes the blame from when they're doing something wrong. It's like, oh, because they're just dumb. They are dumb and they aren't as emotionally intelligent as women, 1000%. But they are not brain dead. In that, if they do something wrong, they can think about it and figure out why they did something wrong. And when they are quiet, they're not pissing listening to you. I can't remember the last time a man listened to me. My producer doesn't even listen to me. Ever. He's used, other than when I told him to leave. Power. But can we get rid of this idea? Can we get rid of this idea that they're brain dead? Because we're literally taking away their accountability by saying, oh, they're just dumb. You know how boys are. Do I? Because what I expect boys to be are humans. And I'm a human also. So why can't they just use their power of mind and be smart, intelligent humans? They have degrees. A lot of them have degrees. And you're telling me when they're sat being quiet, their brain's just numb? No. And I hear a lot of people say it to me as well. When I say I hate men, I think they're disgusting. And they're like, well, do you ever want to marry a man? It could go both ways. I could marry a woman because I am bi. But really and truly, I expect that, and how I envision it is when I say there will be one man that I meet, when I explain to them why men, I detest them. And that man will say, I get it. Women do go through enough as it is. And then men just kind of make it worse. That is the man I will marry. That is the man that does not need to say, well, not all men. Shut your piss. Shut your piss up. Because I don't want to hear it. I literally don't want to hear it. So I would like a man with enough emotional intelligence to know that women suffer a lot at the hands of men, and then be able to empathize and sympathize with me. And then I will marry him. And I will absolutely worship him. Will I? Probably. I'm a lover girl. And that's when the question is, oh, do you even want to be with men? Unfortunately, I'm attracted to them. And the man that I decide to be with permanently will be that type of man. Anyway, on to the next one. Guys, fact. When a guy stares at you, he thinks you're the most beautiful thing in the world. When a girl stares at you, she's wondering why you're lying. What the piss are we talking about? This is genuinely something I found on Pinterest, and I love Pinterest so much. Pinterest is literally my favorite thing in the world. What the piss is this? Remove these from the planet. Right, when a guy's staring at you, he thinks you're the most beautiful thing in the world. Doubt it. He's probably thinking about other things. I mean, he may think you are incredibly beautiful, but I'm sure there are other moments he'll stare at you and be like, oh God, I really want to go into, I don't know, something. What am I thinking about as a man? As a man, what do men think about? Oh God, I'd really like to try not wearing skinny jeans. I'd really like to not wear skinny jeans. That's what I think men think about. When a girl stares at you, she's wondering why you're lying. Is she? Well, sometimes I have been on dates where men, you know, when they fluff up their feathers, that it's for lack of a better phrase, they're just really just tooting their own horn. And there have been times I'm kind of staring at them. Or there's times I stare at them and I think, just shut up. Literally just shut up. Like, what the piss are you talking about? Do you hear what you're saying? Do you hear what you're saying? It's a load of gob. So maybe not the lying, but I am criticizing you. But then at the same time, I'm not reflective of all women. I don't understand how not all women can hate men. Anyway, internalized misogyny. Guy's fact. When you're laying your head on a guy's chest, he has the world. When a girl lays on your chest, she is wishing for you to be hers forever. That's kind of cute. That is quite sweet. I'll allow that one to stay, but it's still kind of gross. Because I feel like as women, when we fall head over heels in love, we fall head over heels in love, and it's rare. I feel like that's most women. But with men, it's just so rare that you'll find a man fall head over heels and like completely, unquestionably, unconditionally. I don't believe in unconditional love though, in any sense. But that's another conversation for another day. But that's cute. That one can stay. The rest can piss off. When a guy calls you every day, he's in love. When a girl calls you every day, she's seeking for your attention. Why do you hate women? Why does this thing hate women? What the piss? Could you not just be in love as well? When a guy calls you every day, he's in love. Yeah, potentially. Potentially. Or he's just, you're entertaining for now. I don't trust them as people. And when a girl calls you every day, she's seeking your attention. Or again, she just wants to speak to you. Shut the piss up. Okay. When a guy says, I miss you, he misses you more than you could have missed him. What? What the fuck? When a girl says, I miss you, can miss you more than that. I mean, this is just intense, but it's disgusting. It's so cringe, like it's intensely cringe. He misses you more than you could have missed him. Why is it as well, this whole thing about, I feel like I'm not going to articulate myself properly, where it's like, when a guy falls in love, like he proper falls in love, and like the reason that men end up being bad to women is because it's that one girl that fucked them up. Shut your piss! Shut the piss up! You lack emotional intelligence and you haven't healed. That's why. That's why you mistreat women. Because you have been, maybe you have experienced a heartbreak and you haven't taken the moment to yourself to heal. So no, it's not because there's women that just, it's that one woman that breaks a man. It just perpetuates that whole Adam and Eve thing, that Adam was fine, Eve came along, said, eat the blood clot apple, and Adam ate it. And then, it was all Eve's fault. No, Adam, say no. Say no to the apple. Why did you follow that? Why did you follow that and then blame her? Huh? Anyway. How do we even know that Eve even said that in that book? Do you know what? It's Easter Monday. No, it's Easter Tuesday. Is that even a day? It's Tuesday from the Easter. So let me not go heavy on the Christianity. Long story short, how do we know it was Eve? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. How do we know it was Eve? Because who wrote it? A man. What do men do? Hate women. Next one. When a guy is in love with you and says, I love you, he means it. No, he doesn't. When a girl is in love and says, I love you, she means it. What? And that's why sometimes I can't stand Pinterest, because sometimes I'll be on Pinterest and there'll be good things going on. They'll be good. Yeah, love it. Motivational. I do a lot of, literally, Pinterest is my therapy. Pinterest is where I get my house decoration ideas. It's where I get my look ideas. It's where I get my morning quotes. That was hell. That was hell, and I think we should put an end to that. But at the same time, I think that's also meant for people about 10 years my junior. So that's been this segment about love and relationships. Now we're going to move on to my agonies. And we know the drill. Agonies is when you guys send me in agonies onto my website. You've already sent them in and you can no longer submit them. I don't know why I keep doing this. Agonies is where you send me in, or previously have sent me in, problems that you're facing, or you just want to, the agonies I had last week was just a load of garb. There was one about being mixed race. Also, on a separate note, did I or did I not look incredibly sexy the other day? Don't you think? The other day I went to a Michael Kors party. I was dressed and invited by Michael himself. Michael Kors. Michael Kors. No. But And my makeup artist, shout out Milan, no one ever will touch him. Ever. He is mine. No one will touch him. He makes me look the most beautiful I've ever looked in my life. And as a result, I've applied for a new passport and I've used one of the pictures from that sleigh night. So I'll update you. I'll update you on how that goes. Right, I'm literally going to just pick at random. 3, 2, 1, that one. Oh. Hold on. Oh, please don't be gay. And you're going to understand why I'm going to say this, because he's mentioned his height. And if he's gay, I'm going to be really pissing upset. Hi, Toby. Yeah. Now, a little secret. The thing is, Toby's going to be editing this. So if you're seeing this, Toby, this is a confession. I have a crush on my videographer, Toby. I think he's the sweetest little cutest thing because he's just very soft-spoken. Only problem is he's short. Toby, I love you, but you're just not in my height bracket of confirmation. As we know, it's 6'2" and above. But Toby, don't change. Anyway, dear Ayame, I'm a 29-year-old man who's 6'10". I'm hyperventilating. I'm actually really sweaty. Please don't be gay. And it makes me feel quite unlovable being such a giant. I've had 2 long-term relationships in my 20s, but it's now been over a year of no intimacy and I'm starting to lose my mojo. Any ideas on how to just piss and get back in the mix and stop doubting myself? P.S. Now this is a hate crime. I've just seen a flash of your Invisalign retainers on the episode in Paris, and now I fancy you even more. I'm 2 years in, and the end is finally in sight. We'll be laughing with our immaculate teeth in the dementia ward. First of all, why do you think I'll get dementia? Second of all, are you gay? Please tell me you're not gay, because you're 6'10" and you're 29. If you are not gay, let me know. Because I'll date you right now. Me, after just confessing my love to Toby. No, but I will. But if you're gay, then God, those men are lucky. Piss me. Right. I mean, I don't know if it builds your confidence. Personally, I find you attractive. Not just because of your height, but just because of how reflective you are. Me trying to flirt with you. I think you're... No, okay, how to get yourself back in the mix and stop doubting yourself. See, the thing is, and I think it's maybe because it's been instilled in me for several years, it's very rare that my self-confidence wavers. Why? And when it does, let's go back to the why. Why? Because I think my mum, really instilled and just showered me with self-belief, self-confidence and everything. And therefore, it's rare that it wavers. And when it does, I have specific things that immediately get me back on track. Now, if you would like these tips, let me know. They are tough tips. So if you're already struggling with your self-esteem, they may be really tough for you to do. And I think I've said it about 10 times on this podcast. Stare at yourself in the mirror and say at least one thing nice and let it just spitball and roll and domino. Because you really have to confront why you may be feeling self-conscious or why you don't think you're that bitch or that guy. Please tell me you're not gay. So you really just have to kind of stand there and confront it and be like, what do I like about myself? I like this. I like how, I may not like this, but do you know what? Because of this, I like this. You have to just really shower yourself. There's no one else that is going to do that for you. Really and truly. So the only person that can really lift you up is yourself. So actually make the move to do that. Stand in front of the mirror, tell yourself why you're cute. In every opportunity you can, make yourself feel good. Now, that may be as simple as having a shower and washing your hair. It may be that simple, especially if you're in a depressive state. I can say my mum is currently not doing well. And she, when she doesn't do well, obviously, and a lot of people I know, when they're in kind of a very, very low state, you don't really care about your personal hygiene. You don't care about how you look because you just think, oh, fuck it, no one cares about me anyway. I'm this, I'm ugly, I'm this. Take a shower. That's it. Take a shower, wash your hair. There's also something spiritual, I feel like, and I'm not going to get all into the spiritual energy, but there's something spiritual about, like, I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. That. Wash all your problems out of your hair. There is something really, I feel like hair really harbors certain feelings, which sounds really silly. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like hair does hold a lot of energy. And when you wash it and wash it out, all those oils and all that dirt, you naturally feel a bit more rejuvenated. Maybe it might be 1% rejuvenated. It might not be 100, but you feel a bit more rejuvenated. So take a shower, wear a nice outfit. If you wear makeup and kind of accentuate your features more if you like. And yes, that is how you're the only person really that can build your confidence. So do those small things to build your confidence. When I'm feeling feelings of lowness and low self-esteem, that is what I do. That is the first port of call I do. Looking at myself and making myself feel good. Even if it's just you're not doing anything that day. Still wash your body, your face, your hair. Do a skincare treatment and rejuvenate yourself. As for you've had 2 long-term relationships in your 20s, but it's now been over a year of no intimacy. I feel like that feels intense to you because you're currently in it. A year of no intimacy is not that deep. I know people that have gone a lot longer. I currently haven't had an intimate thing for a while. Since I've broken up, I haven't been intimate. I mean, I've been on dates, but do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't done anything. I haven't got my pussy wet. Do you know what I mean? Don't rush it. Otherwise, you're going to force yourself to be intimate when you're not necessarily ready. I would focus on making yourself feel better. How to get pissing back into the mix and stop doubting yourself? Get back into the mix and stop doubting yourself. That's the only way, really. I don't know what else to tell you other than go out. It's summertime. Summer is coming, which means it's slut season. Let's be really honest. The sun is out. The sluts are ready to play. Hello. So just prepare for that. You're going to naturally be out more and just have fun. Like, really and truly, a year of not being intimate with someone is not that long. So it shouldn't really... If you spend that year not really doing anything of value and just staying in the same position, you need to get the piss up and improve your life. Okay? Because if you spent that year not being intimate, just dwelling on how you feel like you're shit and then just wallowing in sadness, you've wasted a year of wallowing in sadness and not improving yourself. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a full 180 change of viewing yourself in a big light, but at least do something. So yeah, the time between now and when the sun is fully out and it's hot and people are sweaty and sexy, go to the gym, look at yourself in the mirror, put yourself in nice clothes, do that. And then get out in the town. You're 6'10". After this, DM me if you're not gay, if you're bi or straight, and you like women. If you like women, DM me, because you're 6'10", and you're 29, and I'm 27. That's a perfect age, because when you're like 33, I'll be what? I'll be 31. That's we can get married then, and then 2 years later we can have our first child. But only if you like women. You're 6'10". I'm almost queefing. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, don't ever speak about my Invisalign again. It's my biggest thing. I've actually had to... My Invisalign are currently in my pockets. It's hell. It's hell because it's so shiny. I hate it. But I will have straight teeth. And then I'm going to fix this little situation where I was in the Dominican Republic and dove in a shallow pool and chipped my tooth. But that's another conversation for another time. Next one. Delete row. Stun. Okay. Right. Random. Dearest Ayame, first of all, I love you. Second of all, A few days ago, I made the first move on a guy I fancy, meaning I told him I like him, and then he kissed me and asked me out to dinner next week. For a little backstory, I met him while I had a BF. Scandal. And since I broke up, we've hanged out a few times. I just wanted to hear your opinion on a girl making the first move. I come from a culture where it's considered really bad to do such a thing, but I think it all worked out fine since we both think we feel the same way and like each other. He is the one who proceeded to message me and ask me out after he kissed me. Look forward to your insights. Love you. First of all, now here's the thing. Why are you questioning? I mean, it's happening. It's happened. First of all, you've done it. And it's happened. It's happened. So why does my opinion matter on it? I'll give you my opinion, don't get me wrong, but it's happened. It's happened the way it happened. And it's happening now. I'm going to burp. Wow. Powerful. My opinions on women making the first move. I only ever have made the first move. No, tell a lie. That is a lie. Usually I only make a first move when I'm drunk. I never make the first move to men that I think are like socially incredibly attractive, like in society, like model. Never. Because their ego is already disgusting. I'm not about to fuel it. But for women making the first move, it's absolutely pissing fine. As long as you do not set the precedence of, I'm going to be chasing you. You may have had to make the first move because this man is naturally quite shy, maybe. Maybe he just didn't feel, confident enough to make his first move to you. But thereafter, you are now the prize. Do you know what I mean? Do not allow a man, after you've, made the first move, do not allow a man to feel as though you're chasing him. No. You make the first move, you allow him the opportunity, you give him the opportunity, you're basically saying, hi, I find you attractive, so do feel confident enough to speak to me if you wish, but I'm not about to chase you. Give the man that confidence to speak to you, move on to the dating era, but when it comes to dating, when it comes to planning dates, when it comes to initiating conversations, you are not the one initiating conversations. You are not the one planning dates until after a certain amount of dates have been planned. Do you know what I mean? It's very much no. Because once a man feels as though he is the prize, you're in hell. You're in a hellish point. Never. Ever. And that's my opinion on women making the first move. So I will only ever make the first move to a man if I can sense that they're quite shy or if I'm quite drunk. And then I feel a bit more confident to be just a bitch and bully them. But yeah, no, I think it's fine for women to make the first move. Absolutely fine. Do I think it's fine for women to propose? Not necessarily. Why? Because there's that whole thing about, I put it in the same brackets as like a shut up ring and like a you're not really my true love kind of thing. Because if they know you want to be proposed to, they should work their absolute hardest to propose to you. But that's a whole separate conversation. Do you know what I mean? Make the first move though. And that's number 2. Now, right, this was about best friends, but then as I've copied it, because obviously I'm not on my laptop today because I'm not in my house, but as I've copied and pasted it, I've seen lesbian. So I'm excited. Hey, Ayame. Okay, so 6 months ago, I had ended my friendship with my best friend of 2 to 3 years. We met during online school in 2020. Fast forward to a few months, we were great friends, but as we kept being friends, she would call me out on normal things that teenagers would do and say that it was wrong. Like what? Ambiguous, like what? And she told me that she was trying to make me a good person. Okay. I'm not sure whose side I'm on at the minute because I don't know specifically what you were doing. There was a lot of miscommunication, guilt tripping, and stuff like that, which led to our first friendship breakup, where she ended the friendship. I don't think I'm on your side. You might be able to win me back by saying you're a lesbian, but I don't think I'm on your side. It really affected me, and I had my first panic attack because of that. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to be less of a bully. She contacted me a few months after ending things and said she wanted to be friends again, and my desperate ass said yes. My life had never been worse after I said yes to being her friend again. Our friendship this time was exactly like the first time we were friends, but 10 times worse. It had affected my friendships, relationships, my mental health, my physical health, and especially my relationship with my family. She hated everyone I liked, and when I got cheated on, she said that it was my fault because I was afraid of the commitment to be with that person. I'm back on your side. It became worse and worse, especially in the end of our friendship, that I was so mentally tired of being her best friend that I said I didn't want to be friends anymore. On the phone, she was crying a lot and blamed me for everything and told me that she have everything good be my life. That's literally what it says. She have everything good be my life. Don't know what that means. Honestly, after I stopped being friends, a big weight on my shoulders was off my chest. Sorry, just funny that you've said that. You said a big weight on your shoulders was off your chest. You could just say a big weight was off your chest or your shoulders, just to help with English. I sent her an email a few days after I ended things because I blocked her and everything, but I just wanted to let her know that I wanted her to do well and that I don't blame her for the friendship ending. She emailed me back 4 months later, and the whole email consisted of blaming me for everything, saying that she loved me but now hates me, saying that I don't have a heart, saying that I'm narcissistic, etc., etc. I got mad and addressed everything she said without wishing her any ill will. My friend saw the email and said that she was in love with me, and I don't know how to feel because she was a lesbian. So I don't want to assume anything, but anyways, move past the anger and frustration and now wish her the best and hope she gets a better best friend. Right, what was the point of that? Do you want to explain to me what the point of that was? Did you just want to rant? Did you just want to use me to rant? Because that's what you've done. I mean, I wouldn't say let's assume that she fancies you just because she's a lesbian. Do you know what I mean? But she did sound crazy, but so do you. I don't really know the full, of what happened. So the things that you were saying when you were a teenager and she was trying to better you, maybe you were really doing young things and she just wanted you to stop doing young, dangerous things. I don't know if you're a narcissist. You haven't told me specific behaviors or things that have happened that you were just not, Long story short, glad you're out of the friendship. Congratulations. I hope you both do well. I don't know what to say. Other than sure. Glad you're in a happier place. Not sure who's in the wrong because I don't have much insight. I've just read a very one-sided thing. Anyway, let's see if I can do one more because that was absolutely a garbage time to be alive. Do you know what I mean? Dear Ayame, about a year ago, I fell in love with this straight boy who led me on for months and acted like he liked me. Every night we would talk for hours and he would be the kindest and sweetest, most loving person. Then during the daytime at school, he won't even look at me. Are you gay? Let me know if you're gay. We don't really talk anymore, but I miss him more than anything in the world and would do anything to talk to him again. You have a trauma bond. There's no way, there's no reason for you to miss him, to be quite frank. I have to see him every day in the hallway at school. When I see him, it feels like I get punched in the gut. And it makes me want to bawl my eyes out. What do? I just can't do this anymore. Sweetie, you're in love? Okay, I'm going to assume that you're a gay man because you've said you fell in love with a straight boy who's led you on. And your name is a male name. Because you've said your name, but this week, I'm not outing the names, okay? This week I'm going to be smart with it, okay? The worst thing you can do, in my opinion, as a gay man is try and convince yourself that a closeted man is good for you. I know so many people that fell in love with closeted men that were ashamed of their sexual orientation, and as a result, they have been left heartbroken. Why? Because they don't even accept themselves. Why are they going to accept you? They are not even proud of their own disposition. Why are they going to be proud about you? Do you know what I mean? So stop convincing yourself that this man that you've had a trauma bond with, because you've had a trauma, this is a trauma bond. He may be funny at times. He may have made you laugh. He may have made you, you may have had nice conversations maybe at some point. But really and truly, the reason that you like this man, this boy, because you're in school, this boy, is because he has rejected you. That is the main reason you are so much in just complete dismay that you're not together. This is why you are so heartbroken, because he has rejected you. Remember that. Nothing to do with him. Secondly, he is in the closet. If he specifically told you that he fancies you and then just doesn't claim that out into the world, why would you want to be with anyone like that? Why would you want to be with someone that hides you? Why? Regardless of whether he doesn't feel comfortable coming out, that's fine. Wait for him to complete his coming out journey and then maybe revisit it later. You need to be talking to people that are proud to be around you, proud to be themselves, and leave it at that. You don't need to out him. You don't need to tell other people. I mean, we've outed him to me. But you know what I mean? You don't need to tell other people this, out of sheer spite. Just leave him where he is in his journey of I'm assuming you're gay. Because really and truly, I may be going down a completely wrong route of advice if you're not actually... I mean, if you're straight, this can go to you as well. The main point is, why would you want to be with someone or spend your time with someone that's not proud to show you off? Regardless of whether they're gay, straight, or in any way queer. Why? Why? I've said it before, I will say it again. Your aim should be to be with someone who wants to show you off to the world. When they have an opportunity for you to meet their friends, meet their family, meet people that they know, they're like, yeah, that's mine. That's my man. I'm going to stick beside him. Nothing less. You deserve nothing less. Do you know what I mean? Let him come out when he wishes. That's fine. There's plenty of gay men in the world. There's plenty of men that you're probably attracted to in the world that will happily show you off. Leave that boy alone. Leave that boy alone. The only reason you like him is because he's rejected you. Work on yourself in that way. Well, my beautiful babies, that has been this week's episode. I don't actually know how long it's been. I feel like it's been really short, but at the same time, really long. Next week, we're going to be doing this episode in my new house. Yeah! In my new home, because I move by next week. And you're going to see that my beautiful white couch back again. If there is anything that you wish for me to speak about in general, let me know. Slide into my DMs. Comment on this podcast. Comment on my YouTube. Let me know. Subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you and speak to you all next week. Have a beautiful week. What's happening this week? I'm not too sure. Love you. Now I've got to wait for my producer to come back. This is the awkward moment. Because I'm not touching any of this. I'm not touching this. Yes, I'm not a woman in STEM. Yes, I work as a TikToker, but really and truly, I'm not that STEMmy. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this is a private PS message. Actually, this is a reminder. I'm currently working on my bank. I don't know if you can see my bank stuff. This is a private PS message to the man that said